Capricorn, welcome to your general reading for the year 2023. Now we're going to start off this reading by looking at 2022 first, because 2022 came with a lot of challenges and your soul has a reason for those challenges. So we're going to see what that reason is. And then we're going to move into 2023. Let's see what it is, what's your soul's plan, vision, mission, and goal, that sort of thing for 2023 for you. And then I'm going to draw cards focusing specifically on love, career, and finance. Going to clarify that for you. Going to end off the reading by looking at those fields, those aspects where we sometimes go like, oh, I wish I knew that, so I could sidestep that, so I couldn't have that experience. We're going to look at what those things are for you, what you are best without in 2023. And then if you stick with this reading all the way through to the end, at the end I've got a beautiful, beautiful something for you. And what I want you to do is, throughout this reading, I want you to focus on what is your dream, your vision, your goal for 2023, that big dream that you'd love to have coming through. And then we're going to see what the angels have got to say for you with that. All right. Let's get right into it. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Adrian Nelson. I am a psychic tarot reader and a coach. If you are interested in learning the tarot, you can check some links for my courses down below in the description. For those of you that's been so beautifully supporting me, throughout 2022 and even before, I really, really, really appreciate it. Like it just makes my heart sing. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. If it's your first time here, I'd like to welcome you, and I hope that you would consider subscribing to the channel. Okay? Let's see for Capricorn, please. What is it that we need for Capricorn? What is it that Capricorn needs to know? What guidance will they benefit from for 2023? What is it that my beautiful Cappies need to know? Okay, card came out right there, ordinariness. Now Capricorn, this is quite a powerful reminder. And you know what, sometimes, just before I get into it, sometimes when you say this to someone, they'll be like, yeah, but that's not really all that much. However, when we haven't been doing this for a while and we start to do it, you really get to see the magic of life again. So this card, ordinariness, which is the Eight of Rainbows or the Eight of Pentacles in traditional tarot, even though this is OSHO Zen tarot, you can't really compare OSHO Zen to Rider-Waite tarot. But in OSHO Zen, this card reminds you that there's magic in every day. And I feel that this is the biggest thing that you needed to learn throughout 2022, Sometimes in life, we've got these big visions and these big goals and these big things that we'd like to have. And we sort of feel like if we don't get those things, that we're not really successful, that we're not really living a good life or a life that has any purpose or value or anything like that. And when you really think about it, that's not really true. That's not true at all, okay? We live in a world where we are so focused on the big things that we sometimes forget the importance of just saying hi to someone else, just giving time to ourselves to pause in front of a mirror and to smile. So I feel that in 2022, Capricorn, there was a lot of those instances that sort of brought you back to basics. And it was all about seeing the magic in the everyday things in life again. Because when we really realign with that magic in the everyday things in life again and again and again, that is when we really get to see that, despite the fact that there's so many things happening in the world and a lot of those things aren't pleasant at all, we get to see that, that there is really still beauty in the world. And it's almost like you were encouraged to look a little bit deeper, so past the fact that, the government is, I know I'm stereotyping here, but, the government's basically a bunch of criminals. They've always been running their own course, basically. But all of those things, the economy and, whatever's happening with the pandemic and all of those type of things, it feels like you were forced to look a little bit deeper, much deeper actually, beyond the surface level, to really get to see, the intricate magic of life. And it may seem like when you, as I said in the beginning, sometimes people will be like, yeah, that's such an ordinary thing. But when you think about it, when you needed to look deeper to find the magic, you look deeper in general. And when you look deeper, you started to see things that other people don't see, things that other people miss, the magic that's right in front of you. And I feel that for you, yes, there may have been a lot of times where it almost felt like you were in a time warp, like you're going at a certain pace and you're just like you're moving through this gooey sort of bubble gum, you know, where the world is just a crappy place, and it feels like almost like life is a waste, you know, in a way. But then when we, you know, and this is what I feel, that you sort of went deeper than others. Like you didn't just buy into the surface level sort of things, you know. So you got to really almost like in a way get the bigger plan here. So you unlocked within your DNA amazing potential that other people weren't even aware of. So your suffering was most definitely not in vain. Okay. The world needed leaders, and I mean, who better than Capricorn to lead us? Because you know, I know many Capricorns, amazing Capricorns, and I must be honest, it pisses me off a little bit, you know, when you get people that don't really know much about energies and astrology especially, and they go like, oh, Capricorns are so self-centered and don't care. It's like, sit down, you know, like you don't know what you're talking about. It's so easy to pass judgment, but what I like about you, Capricorn, is that it's almost like you got to find the deeper magic within yourself through the sort of like the conflicts and stuff, where you really went like, no, that is not me, or I don't choose for that to be me. And I love that about you. Okay, let's see what you've got for going forward. There we go, there we go. So 2023, the plan of the soul, you got the Eight of Swords, interference. Now, this energy, it's about, you know, when we think of the word interference, and again, even with the Thought Tarot, and it really, you know, I remember when I first got this deck, when I first started to study Thought Tarot, it actually made me think of Capricorn energy, because when you initially look at some of these images, they can seem quite scary, but then that can also be the experience of right away. They can seem quite scary, and you know, the wording like interference, for example, can seem very scary and stuff like that. But that is what, because we typically only look at life from one side, from one angle, and that angle is typically fear, you know, the things within yourself that are unresolved and the patterns that you came in with. But for you, Capricorn, it is about shaking things up. So in 2023, it's about shaking things up, but it's about shaking them up in a way that really, it's almost like you're bringing out the old weapons, but you know, like when you say about old weapons, what are the old weapons really? It's love. You know, we are more powerful when we are together. You know, like it's literally like the old saying, like, you know, together we rise and divided we fall. And I feel that for you, especially Capricorn, going forward into 2023, there's going to be multiple opportunities for you to shake things up, and to shake them up in a way that doesn't sort of like demean anything or demean anyone or devalue anything that's been done so far, but it's more that sort of energy of saying like, you know what, we've been doing this way for such a long period of time, and it ain't working, you know. So it's that really sort of it's a revolutionary sort of energy, powerful breakthroughs. You know, I see you. We're going to see, especially when you look at career, because that should be interesting to see what comes up for you, Capricorn. But there's really a space of you going in and saying, you know what, you know, some of you may not remember the software computer program MS-DOS. That was, you know, like obviously afterwards we got like Microsoft, and we had Apple. Actually, I think we had Apple first, but you know, or iOS, and then we got Microsoft. But before that, there was MS-DOS. You know, which was like, if you look at like the first Matrix, it was basically that blackish gray sort of screen. Then you had like that poppy thing was normally like green or like orange, like, you know, sort of thing. Very outdated. And in many ways, the world is still operating in a very MS-DOS sort of way. So you are really coming to say to people like, yo, you know. Yes, MS-DOS was great when we needed it and that sort of stuff. But, you know, we're in the Microsoft and, you know, Apple sort of era. Okay. Let's see what we've got for you for love, career, and finance, my beautiful, beautiful Amazing Capricorns. Ooh, I love it. 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 So we've got 2 cards for love. I'm not going to say anything, but I'm going to show them to you because I'm so excited about them. Okay. All right. So we got the Ace of Wands that came out first, and then the Wheel of Fortune. So some of you aren't seeing amazing love coming. Like, you may have thought that you met the one. Now remember, this reading is general, so you want to take it as it resonates. And when you do come across something that does really resonate with you, place your hand on your heart, take a nice deep breath and claim that for yourself. Say yes. Breathing in, as you breathe out, release all resistance across all possible levels. Okay. So that is love. Can't wait to get into that. Can't wait to clarify that. And career and finance. And even my voice, it sounds more confident because it's the energy that you are going into. I love that. Okay, all right. So starting with love, we had this Ace of Wands and this Wheel of Fortune. So there's a breakthrough happening here for you, a breakthrough of the heart. Some of you, you may have been looking for love, wishing for love, trying out love, being with someone. But it's like you yourself are not 100% in it. And it's not really about being afraid of love or afraid of commitment or anything like that. I feel that you just sort of needed to still peel back some of those onion layers. You may not have been 100% certain within yourself exactly who you are or how you'd like to feature in love. Maybe you'd like to know how somebody else would like to, how you'd like the other person to feature in it, but maybe not so clear about what it is that you specifically would want just yet. And you know what? The thing is that until we don't know certain things about ourselves, you can't really specifically know what it is that you want from someone else. So I want to strongly encourage you to not sort of really blame yourself when you didn't know better, or, things that you may have done that may have possibly hurt someone else or anything like that. Because, as Maya Angelou used to say, when you know better, you do better. You can blame yourself for not knowing better in the past, and I've done that and I've done that. But you know what? It brings you nowhere. Okay, there's a bright new light that's opening for you. Your heart is opening, love is shining through, source is stepping in. That perfect person for you is stepping forward, and it's a beautiful growing connection. Lots and lots of positive expansion for you in 2023. And the reason why I'm saying that is because love is really that magical thing that in many ways reminds us of who we are, but by the very core of our nature. And because of that, it really opens all this beauty for us. It's amazing. Okay. Now, career, you got the 5 of Wands. For some of you, I feel that you've been justifying being on a career path that it may not be a bad career or a bad job or a bad direction of studying or anything like that, growing something, whatever, family narratives, whatever the case may be. It's not necessarily bad, it's just not well suited to you. All right. So the 5 of Pentacles is typically a card of being left out in the cold, but it's also that, that realization of this isn't really for me. So if it's not for me, then, a lot of times in order to understand what is our yes, you need to have clarity about what your no is. And remember, I don't want you to get afraid about this, because remember, from your heart, you are leading with love, and things are expanding in a positive direction for you in that way. And a lot of times, especially when it comes to spirituality, a lot of times we've got this idea that when something isn't all shiny and amazing and, it's all twinkly bells or whatever, then it's bad, then it's negative. But we are beings of nature, and nature is dual. It's all about that balance, about the scales. And so sometimes when we don't know what our yes is, we need to first understand what our no is, and there's also healing here of patterns that you came into this lifetime with, so don't be too hard on yourself. All right, we're going to clarify that. And then finances. Oh, you see, you see. So you got the Death card, and it is that. I'm trying to find the right word around it. Give me just a moment. So the Death, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. So, you know, Death is that Scorpio energy. And we're looking at finances now. Now, again, you know, all these keyboard cowboys, they don't really know too much about stuff. They look at Scorpio and they go like, oh, dark motherfuckers, you know, worst people on the planet. But again, don't really know what they are speaking about, because Capricorn is a very, Scorpio is a very healing sort of energy, which is coming about for you in Capricorn, in career, in finances. So again, there's a lot of highlight on the things that are not working. So this is the encouragement that I'm going to give to you before I carry on with this rest of this cards, because this is brilliant, it's beautiful. But, you know, when you begin to experience those challenges, you know, as Oprah Winfrey likes to say, and she said she got it from someone else, I can't remember who, but, you know, life will first throw a little bit of sand at you, and then you ignore the sand, and when it starts throwing bricks and stones, then you go like, oh my goodness, this is so bad, why did nobody warn me? So don't ignore the warning signs. If you wake up and you feel like, oh, not the job for me, now maybe not on the first day, but if it's like 10 days, 20 days, 3 months in succession, maybe it's like, that's like trying to tell you that, Baba, you might want to head in a different direction, you know? You've got the Ten of Pentacles here for finances. This is about not only financial success, but life success, love success, family success, all those dynamics that you really want in your personal life. It's ancient knowledge coming about. So there is definitely that powerful turnaround that is taking place for you. And the Ace of Cups, your heart opening and someone else's heart opening towards you. So you may find that your heart opens towards someone else, Capricorn, and you know, you're not sure if they're for you. So I do feel there's a powerful opening here. There's something beautiful that grows. So it's like a plant growing. It's like a bonsai, basically. You know, it grows slowly, but it grows beautifully. And then I feel the other person's heart opening towards you as well. So you might have somebody that you might meet at work, but it could also be whatever, you know, you have a passion for. So let's say, for example, you love yoga, you know, or painting, or like whatever, really. You like, you know, you like doing community service and picking up dirt or something like that. It is true, whatever that passion is that you let go forward, that I feel that, now I don't want you to get me wrong when I say this, but it's almost like you realize that there's an emptiness in your life, you know, a sense of unfulfillment where, you know, maybe you are picking up the dirt and you realize this is giving me such a sense of fulfillment, doing something amazing for the planet, and my job is making me feel like blah. And so doing something, whatever that passion is, follow that passion, follow those shiny, beautiful pebbles. It will lead you to your light. And that makes you realize that that's not really what I want. And so what you then want to think is, how do I implement this beautiful feeling that I get in my workspace, in my job space, in my career? All right. So let's clarify and see, because this is quite intriguing. This is quite intriguing, my Capricorns. We're going to draw 3 cards. You see, you are ready for love. You're ready for love. You're ready for love. I'm gonna carry on. Is that song by Madonna? I love that song. I love that song. So you got the 3 of Swords, the Chariot energy, Cancer energy, which is my energy, and the High Priestess, which is Moon energy, which is also, you know, sort of Cancer energy, because Cancer is ruled by the Moon. So your heart is ready for love. This is the time for you to start feeling your feelings and feeling your emotions here in 2023. So if you have been, you know, sort of like hiding your feelings away, don't want to show too much how you feel, thinking it's a sign of being brittle, or what if people take advantage of my heart and stuff like that. Listen, you are ready for love. You are ready for the beauty of love. And you are ready to take that risk. You are ready to just shine. You're ready for it. Okay? And what I love, and this is what I want to remind you of also, is that be careful of that sense of, you know, be careful of the perfection pandemic. Be careful of the perfection pandemic, because sometimes in life, Capricorn, we feel that I'd like to have love, I feel ready for love, but I first need to do this and that, you know, change my hair, grow out my hair, cut my hair, I'm gonna go do my hair tomorrow. That's why I'm talking a lot about hair, because my own hair is quite long already, but these are extensions. You know, and I'm quite excited about it. But whatever, you know, you feel I need to first change this, or my job, or my, you know, need to gain some body weight, or do some. I get like for many of you, there's something about I need to first fix my skin or do something with my skin or whatever. It's move forward, you know, in love. You know, there's this South African actress. Her name is Brumilda van Rensburg. And I remember a couple of years ago, I read an interview, and people were asking her, I read it in the magazine, how are you feeling about getting older, you know? And why are you one of those people that never sort of like went under the knife, and you're not doing Botox and stuff like that? And she said, you know what? It is your imperfections. And like, even when I think about it, it's like, it was such a game changer for me. Like even now, it touches my heart so much when I think about it. It is like my eyes are beginning to well up. She said, it is your imperfections that make you perfect. It is your imperfections that make you perfect. And you know, to me, and also that, like, it shows that you've lived, you know. And somehow, I'm 40 years old now, it's almost like the aging process has always been slower for me. But I think it's because I've never been afraid of getting old. In actual fact, since as long as I can remember, I've always been excited about the idea of being 50. Like, you know, so I don't know why. But, you know, people want to live a long life, but then they don't want to get wrinkles and stuff like that. Papa, it's the beauty of life. You know, it's like, think of your life as your age, as your whatever happens with your face and you know, your body and whatever. It's like the rings on a tree, you know, as they go up with years and years and years. And the amazing thing that I also became to discover with getting older is that, first of all, you worry about a lot less shit. Because you're not so concerned about what other people think about you anymore. But also, no matter how active and healthy and whatever you are, you know, you still have the willingness of the soul, but the body doesn't have all that strength that it used to have before. So you become more mindful with your energy, and you actually get more done. Don't be afraid to be in touch with your feelings and your emotions, okay? You are beautiful. Like every Capricorn that I've ever met, you know, when you look at them sort of like on surface value, like on face value when you first meet them, not me, but many other people, they'd be like, you know, arrogant person. And sometimes that is determined by your rising energy, your ascendant. And you know what, my beautiful Capricorns, if you are not familiar with your chart, with your natal chart, there's a link in the description that says free natal chart. Do yourself a favor, invest in your own success, and when you're done with this reading, go check it out for yourself, okay? Let the world see who you are, because once you really get to know Capricorn, they are the most beautiful, kind, giving people who sometimes give too much. But you know, feel your feelings, beautiful Capricorn. That is the biggest thing coming through for love. Even if you think that, oh, I like that person, you know, or I'd like to go to the next level with that person or this person, and I don't know if they will feel the same with me. The fact that in a world that we are living where there's so many calamities going on and so many reasons to go into a dark, you know, negative space, if you are still capable of feeling love, even if it may go nowhere, just the fact that you are capable of still feeling it speaks about the beautiful person that you are, the light that you are carrying within you. Because remember, you can only perceive that which you are. So in the stages that we are living in, if you can still feel love and the excitement of love, it speaks about the beauty of who you are. Okay? Right. Let's look at career. I get a very Gemini feel for you also, Capricorns. I don't know if you're dealing with a Gemini. Maybe you have Gemini in your chart. Go check it out. And in actual fact, I'm not 100% sure when this reading is going to be uploaded because my internet is very, very slow. But today is December the 8th, 2022. And speaking of Gemini, today is actually full moon in Gemini, which is all about communication. You know, what do you want? You can tap into that energy. All right, career, let's get some clarity over here because there was a little bit of a scary energy that came in here. So let's first look at something that you might not want to face. King of Pentacles. This one came in upside down, which sometimes says to me, It's either something that you don't want to face or something that you're not aware of. And in your case, I feel something that you're not aware of. You have got the potential to be stinking rich, stinking in a good sense, you know? When you think of stinking Versailles back in the day. You know, when the the Sun King used to rule, with Marie Antoinette and all those, those chaps. Yes, they were never really big on washing because they didn't think that it wasn't really so much that they were unhygienic specifically. They just thought that washing was not hygienic. But the point that I'm trying to make is that even though those people walking around, not smelling all the kosher, they had the most expensive perfumes and deodorants and stuff on them. Well, deodorant didn't really exist back then, but smelling waters and like perfumes, and they had, the most beautiful dresses or clothing and attire and jewelry, and they had the best lives and all those type of things. All of that beauty is available to you. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it's not, that it's not possible for you. Look at that. So remember, we had the 10 of Pentacles in your finance. It's coming into your career as well. 10 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups. Reasons to hope, reasons for wonderful things to come. So just because you don't see a positive direction coming, my beautiful, beautiful Capricorns, doesn't mean that it's not coming. All right. So just because you don't see the beauty coming, you don't see the positivity coming, you don't see a way in which you'll be able to have it, doesn't mean that it's not coming. And you want to really open yourself to that idea. Something that I like to, in anything that I really like to, that I love to teach, I like to always remind everybody, or even just in a reading or whatever, like things like this, I like to remind you that, what's something funny on my, maybe some of you have got a scratchy, like this is my right hand. And it almost feels like, I don't want to be so disgusting, but it feels like there's spit on it. But there's not. So maybe some of you have a feeling like that, and if you do, then there's a message here for you. Maybe it has some sort of resonance or whatever. There's something here for you. Let me know in the comments. But, just because you don't see the solution doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. I want you to maybe write it down somewhere. And say, just because I don't see the solution, just because I don't see the breakthrough, just because I don't see the way out, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And ask your angels, your guides, and your guardians to come in and to illuminate the light for you in a positive way. All right. So career, there's good things coming, especially if you're thinking of a new direction you want to head in, entrepreneurship, doing your own thing. There's heading in a new direction here because the old direction may not have been working all that well for you in any case. Bless you, Baba, my nephew. Let's see what we got for finances. There's really good potential here for you to make tons and tons of money. And if not, why not? Don't stress about finances. Don't stress about it. The Hermit coming in here with Virgo energy. The Hierophant energy coming in. 7 of Pentacles coming in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff for you. I'm going to come soon, okay? Alrighty. So, with finances, you may have been giving your body quite a lot of stress, worrying about making ends meet. The best thing that you can do for finance is to let that positive energy flow, is to do something nice for yourself. Go on a retreat, take a nice bath, something like that. Okay? There's beautiful things coming. Again, just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. There's a bit of a difficult start with finances because remember, before we're having this 10 of Pentacles energy, we first have the Death card energy. So there are some blockages to finances here for you. This could be generational patterning, childhood patterning. Those things that people tell us as a child, you have to work really, really hard to be successful. If you don't, you're never going to be successful and stuff like that. There might still be some of those things that need to be cleared out for you. Okay? 7 of Pentacles. You have invested well. So whatever you did, and I want you to remember this, my beautiful Capricorn. So even if you've been, on a career path that you didn't, necessarily like all that much, there were valuable lessons there for you to learn. One of the most valuable lessons could have been that, that maybe this isn't the path for you. I remember a couple of years ago, I worked for, a company where I was very involved with sort of like online marketing and graphic design and stuff like that. And it really wasn't the job for me, but everything that I learned in this job is so valuable to me today still. And even some other places that I worked at, corporate and stuff like that, one of the biggest lessons I learned is when I do my own business one day, I will not do it like this and like this and like that. And those are very powerful lessons to learn, all right? So no experience is wasted, okay? Very good things to look forward to. Don't despair. Bit of a rough start there for you with career and finances in the beginning of the year. But you know, as I said, sometimes we need that to say, not for me, okay? Now let's look at some of the things that you want to look out for, my beautiful Capricorns, in 2023. Those things that you want to sidestep, you know. And then I want you to focus on that one question that you have, that burning question, that burning desire, that wish, that hope, that goal. Because after this, we're going to see what the angels have got for you for that. And of course, you can always check in for my weekly readings for some, you know, week by week refined guidance also. So Capricorn, what is it that I need to know, please? What is Capricorn need to be aware of throughout 2023? The cards are feeling hard. 10 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles in the world. Do not hold on to emotional connections that are no longer working for you. Be this in love, be this in family, be this in friends, be it with a home space, be it a job. There are some emotional ties that you are best to let go of. Okay? Painting a new picture here for yourself. And be sure to not paint a picture from the past, in the sense of, let's say somebody hurt you. Leave that whole business of wanting to get even, wanting to show them who you are. If you see it, if it's not for you, try your best to release with peace. Okay? If it resonates, take a nice deep breath and claim it for yourself. You want some support with that? You know, maybe you're a little bit like me. You know, you can be quite quick to talk, you know, and like that sort of thing. Then maybe ask the angels, ask your spiritual team to support you in that. Not to change who you are, but to maybe sometimes say like, well, maybe I don't need to necessarily, you know, speak up about this. So if I do, I don't have to come in there, you know, with like with a big sort of a truck, basically, you know, to flatten everything. Doesn't have to be that way. Now, what is that burning question? Oh, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Okay. So they say yes, yes, remain positive, don't lose hope. Let go, don't hold on. You might be very set in this is how it must be, but there might be a better way for you. You're ready for it in a year from now. So there is something really, really big that is coming about here for you, and it needs some time. So give life time. Okay? So that's what I got, Capricorn, for you. I hope that it helps. From my heart, I want to wish you, with all parts of my being, I want to wish you the best possible year. I wish that this year is more beautiful than you ever imagined. I wish that it is, it fulfills every desire of your heart, every dream, that is just the most amazing year, more amazing that you could ever possibly imagine. And so it is, and I hope that you are blessed with many, many, many beautiful reasons to smile. And so it is. I'll see you next time. Bye.